So in the last session, we talked about the identity iceberg and how we can go and shift some beliefs to drive new behaviours to go and achieve those goals that you've set up, creating the identity of the person to achieve the goals. There's one other thing we need to consider though, which is of course time. It's our only finite resource and we choose how to use it. So maybe sometimes we need to make some better choices. When I speak with clients and ask them, so how many great ideas do you have when you're running around your business with everything on fire? The answer usually comes back as, well, not many or none at all. And when I ask them, so how many great ideas do you have when you're lying on a sunbed on holiday? The answer comes back as loads. So isn't that interesting? Great stuff happens in space. So why don't we create more space? This session then is about time and how we choose to use it. We're going to look at a very powerful tool. It's a very simple tool, very powerful, and we'll make it even more powerful as we go through the session. It's called the Fun Skill Matrix. On one axis, we have value, the value of the task ranging from low to high. And on the other, skill, the amount of skill required to do the task, so from low to high. Now, the bits I want you to get really fixated on here are the orange and green boxes. I'll explain those in a minute. The bits in the middle, the white stuff, they're stuff that we can systemize, delegate, even get rid of. But the ones I want you to become obsessed with are the orange box and the green box. Orange box being the highest value activities that only you can do or only your team can do, because obviously it's really relevant for defining for them what their orange box activities are. The green box stuff, I call it doing stupid, the stuff we absolutely should not be doing. Now, just to explain, why are they green and why are they orange? Well, because the first time that I drew this, I was teaching a bunch of HSBC team members, and guess what colour I was holding in my hand when I coloured in the top right hand box? And guess what colour I was holding in my hand when I coloured in the bottom left-hand box? Now, as I wanted to make this a system, so that we had a consistent conversation between all of our clients, then I stuck with those colours. So if you were to ask any of my clients what the orange box is now, they don't be able to tell you. Now, a couple of years ago, a client said to me, well, how come the green box is the low value stuff? Because surely it's green for go. So I had to think about it for a while. And then I thought, well, actually, because green is down in the weeds and the orange is for brightness of future. So we stuck with the same system. So orange box, well, why don't people go there more of the time? Well, I suppose the first instance is because it's usually not their comfort zone. If it's the highest value and the highest skill, then sometimes they have to grow into that box. They have to learn it. We'll talk more about that in an example I'll give you in a while. So the first thing for you to do here is to really think about how you distribute your tasks. You could put a notional hourly rate on each of these boxes, couldn't you? The orange box, as a business owner, actually there's no number associated with it. You could just pick a number. The green box in the bottom left-hand corner may be more sort of minimum wage. This will change as we move through the organisation, of course. So a great first step here would be to map out your daily, weekly and monthly activities and then build them into this grid. Where are you spending your time and how much time are you spending in each of the places? If it's like most people, the 80-20 rule will apply. It might be you're only actually spending 20%, if that, of your time in the orange box. It may be the same for your team. As a result, what's happening is, if you think about your team, you're paying them an hourly rate to do a certain level of job, which they're only spending 20% of their time doing. So, first step is to go and analyse your activities. Now, as I say, it's really important to think how we think about time. Let's take a couple of examples of what I mean by that. I often ask clients, who's your most important customer? And they'll give me the name of their biggest or most profitable customer. And whilst they are important, that's true, actually our most important customer is who? Well, ourselves. Because as a business owner, we're the only people we can't replace yet. So if we think about it, would you go and sit in a meeting with your most important customer and answer emails or answer your phone or veer away from the task in hand? And the answer is, of course, no. Yet isn't it interesting how easily we get distracted from time working on our business or spending time with our most important customer, who's us? This is just a thought process to start off with. If we change a belief, then we'll probably change a behaviour. So a great example that I'll give here is, emails. How often do we deal with an email as soon as it arrives? quite often in a lot of cases, and your team probably will too. But let's think about the psychology of that. What are emails really about? Well, they're about getting something off my table and onto yours. Now, if you were to reverse that, if you wanted something done urgently, would you send an email? Well, the answer is, of course, no. If it was urgent, you'd pick up the phone. So actually how we choose to deal with emails quite often sabotages our day, or we allow it to sabotage our day, more to the point, when there's actually no real necessity for that. Isn't that interesting? So it's possible to batch emails together, isn't it? And maybe answer them twice a day because they're not urgent. And if they were urgent and they become urgent, whoever sent you the email will probably pick up the phone to you anyway. Now, there's a chance to re-educate our clients here, of course, because, we may have taught them that we deal with emails as though they're urgent. It may be time to retrain them. Remember whose responsibility it is to retrain clients and suppliers and team. So batching this low value stuff that you have to do would be a good first step. And then building a fence around, or a wall around, the high value tasks to make sure they happen would be a great next step. To do that, we use something called a default diary. So that's blocks of time that are systematically placed in your diary at the same time on the same day each week, so you can go and make them happen. Things like management meetings, things like dashboard reviews. We'll come to dashboards soon. Things like the highest value tasks that you need to do, things like working on your business as a result of your 90-day plan. And we'll talk about 90-day plans in later sessions. So when we build a wall around it and commit to making it happen, then the rest of the stuff can fit in around the most important stuff. You've probably heard that Stephen Covey analogy about the bucket, where you can put the rocks in first and then the pebbles in second and the sand in last. But if you try to put sand in first and the pebbles next, then there's no room for the rocks. The rocks being the highest value, most important tasks. Now, I said this fun skill matrix was powerful, but what about when we link it with the entrepreneurial ladder that I showed you a couple of sessions ago? You see, if you think about it, everybody in your business, starting at your team, has an orange box. The question would be, are they clear on what that is? But the next level up is a manager, and the next level up after that is the business owner. Now, what you'll notice is that I've cascaded these orange box systems. What does that really mean? It means that value can get sucked back down through the business. Let me give you an example of that. Some years ago, I was working with a manufacturing business, and the production manager, who was paid roughly double the amount that the guys on the shop floor were being paid, loved spending time out on the machines, with best intentions, because they were busy. Now, what did that really mean? He wasn't managing. What should he have been doing? What was his orange box? Well, there's first of all making sure that the systems in the business are fit for purpose, that everybody's trained in them, that the outputs are objectively measured so he can improve the systems. He could communicate proactively with customers to manage their expectations. He can analyze the profitability of those jobs. So plenty of orange box tasks that he wasn't doing because his comfort zone was being on the shop floor. So if he was not doing his orange box items, who was? Well, the business owner. Of course he was. So the business owner is getting sucked back towards his green box. The question then is, who's doing the business owner's orange box activities? And the answer, of course, is nobody. So really, how long are you spending sitting in the MD's chair of your business? Because, other stuff, you're allowing other stuff to pull you back and suck the value out of your day. Now, that will be happening across your business. So if you think about it, you're paying people an hourly rate to do lower value tasks. So there's a great opportunity here to recalibrate what everybody's doing by getting clear on exactly what their orange box is. We'll talk more about that as we go through in later sessions. For now, your homework from this session is to go away and do that fun skill matrix exercise. Write down your list of daily, weekly and monthly activities and assign a notional hourly rate to them. Map them onto that fun skill matrix. Create a default diary around the highest value activities and make sure that happens. Batch together the lowest value of activities and make sure that's the smallest impact on your diary. Work out what you can get rid of and build a very simple system, and we'll talk about building those systems as we run through this. Build a very simple system to delegate it away, and then do the same with your team. That's the way we claim our time back. So good luck with that and enjoy creating some space.